Part 2 of the teachings for the New Golden Age by beloved Ascended Master Kuthumi, preparing teachers for the Golden Age. Developing discrimination. I greet you tonight and welcome you to the radiation of the brothers and sisters of the Golden Robe. You have chosen, through your very presence within this room, to become a part of that activity by which we may acquaint the outer consciousness of mankind with the truth of life, the service of the great spiritual hierarchy under our Lord Sanat Kumara, and the conscious part which every incarnate life stream and every soul waiting the privilege of securing an earth body may render, in redeeming their own personal karma, in drawing back through the flame within their own heart the miscreations of the centuries, and in making of this earth a beautiful shining star of freedom, so it may attain the right and the honor of a permanent place in the solar system, one of the beads in the great necklace around the cosmic sun, behind the sun. We have loved this earth. We have chosen to forgo the great happiness and freedom on other planets. We have chosen, when we were given the opportunity of stepping into the heart of the ascension and passing into nirvana, to renounce that bliss and freedom, to work among you and with you in an endeavor to make of every man a god, to make of every life stream a glorious song of life and light, to make of every heart a chalice in which burns that immortal flame and the glorious divine pattern and plan of the Christ, manifest through that heart and revealed in the glorious mastery which the Master Jesus and others, well known to your outer consciousness, have achieved through the same self-conscious effort that we endeavor to incorporate into your daily living. Beloved friends, over the continent of Asia stands the Elohim of wisdom. Within the heart of this continent has been preserved, since the passing of the Golden Ages, when mankind spoke with God freely, without the necessity of a mediator or an intercessor, the wisdom of the ages. And India, as you know, represents the head of our gracious and beautiful planet. Tonight, this great Elohim has chosen to weave over all of Asia a glorious golden mantle from his own cosmic heart. Those streamers of light in the most exquisite, deep, molten gold make a canopy of blazing light over our continent of Asia, and from it are being directed ribbons of light into the retreats and the sanctuaries where conscious students are gathered, and a 7-pointed crown will be placed over the heads of the students and fastened with a 7-pointed lotus on the forehead right between the eyes. As you feel that action, will you just accept it? For it becomes really a funnel into which the substance of the Elohim may enter the brain structure and give certain assistance in the dissolving and melting of the atomic consciousness which has coated the brain and makes it more difficult for the finer vibrations of your own presence to reach you and to be interpreted through the outer mind without mistake. Every life stream on the path, sooner or later, comes to a certain point where he begins to turn to the still, small voice within the heart. At first, the individual begins to rely on intuition, then on inspiration, and later still upon that conscious contact which precedes self-conscious mastery, an attainment of which constitutes his divine freedom from all human concepts and all human form. This is the most difficult point upon the spiritual path, particularly for those in the Western world, where your energies are woven so often into the mundane tasks of making a living, and the energies that could be incorporated into divining the depths of your own being are tired and worn out before you have the freedom of conscience in your daily service to life to proceed on that inner pathway. It is to you that I speak primarily tonight. I ask that when you come to the place where you enter into the heart of the silence, where you commune with your own God self, that you be extremely wise, alert, and careful of the response that you will receive. First of all, from your own bodies, because you are a complex mechanism, a sevenfold being. Now, whereas the glory of your electronic body, your causal body, and your Holy Christ self can never lead you astray, your lower bodies have voices, have a consciousness, and an intelligence of their own. And these voices, this consciousness, and this intelligence within them endeavors often to serve its own selfish ends through you. One of the chief requirements for spiritual mastery is discrimination. Call to me if you wish, to my beloved Lord Maitreya, or to the great Lord Buddha for that discrimination wherein you may recognize the voice of the silence. Know always that the prompting which builds up the personality, that which gives aggrandizement to the human ego, is not the still, small voice of the presence, but rather the etheric rumblings of your own past experiences, the emotional desires of your feeling word, or mental concepts and precepts from your past lives. Remember, you have sat in the past before many teachers who have given forth both truth and fallacy, and into your mental and emotional bodies and your etheric consciousness are built those concepts, some of them solidified and petrified and lying dormant within them for centuries. As the flame begins to surge through you, these concepts are revivified and come forth, and you must recognize them for what they are, not necessarily the voice of truth. As you proceed into an understanding of the voice of the silence, know that that which makes you pure, that which makes you harmonious, is of God. The feelings that stir within your heart, that desire to make this star a planet of light, to relieve the burden of your fellow man, to raise those in pain and distress into understanding and harmony, that is of the light. That which decreases the personality and increases the power of Christ, that is of God. That which builds up the personality, that which seems to give aggrandizement to the human ego, is not the still, small voice of the presence. You will remember, perhaps, those of you who are students of the law, that Lord Maitreya required first of the beloved Krishnamurti on his path to spiritual mastery, the development of discrimination. Tonight, as I speak to you, may I point out again the necessity of the spiritual path for the development of individual discrimination. I congratulate you who are among us tonight for the discrimination within your own life streams that has enabled you to discern my presence here and a semblance of truth in that which we say. Tonight, I wish to give you the encouragement that a brother or sister of the golden robe will always be at your side if you choose to invite them. And as you proceed into an understanding of the voice of the silence, know that that which makes you humble, that which makes you selfless, that which makes you loving, that which makes you pure, that which makes you harmonious is of God. The feelings that stir within your heart, that desire to make of this star a planet of light, to relieve the burden of your fellow man, to raise those in pain and distress into understanding and harmony, that is of light. That which decreases the personality and increases the power of the Christ is of God. Do you understand my words and my feelings?